83. Exactly. No doctor, there is no doctor in the whole universe who can give any one of us a guarantee whether we will be alive the next minute. No doctor, there's nobody in the world who can give a guarantee that we'll be alive the next minute. Therefore, in Hindi they used to say one beautiful sentence, Kal kare to aaj kare to ab. What you plan to do tomorrow, don't postpone it, there's no tomorrow. Tomorrow doesn't exist at all. Tomorrow exists only for whom? Read to Bhagavad Gita. Vishadi dirgha sutri cha karta tamasa uchyate. The fellows who are there in tamo guna only. What you have to do today, I will do it tomorrow. Procrastination. Vishadi dirgha sutri cha. So what you plan to do tomorrow, do it today. What you plan to do today, do it now. Because that tomorrow is not ours. There is no guarantee. Go ahead, start with your questions. And what is the age to do Sharanagati? You will be surprised. At least I know there is one person here. They brought their 6 months old baby to do Sharanagati. 6 months old baby. They said, are you not thinking? The minute the son is born, what are you thinking? I didn't go to a better college. I should send my child to Harvard, MIT, Princeton, Yale. Those parents thought we did not have proper exposure when we were kids. This child is born in our family. Let this be the last birth for this child. We will make sure the child will grow up taking only food that can be offered to Krishna and sticking only to Krishna like a Pativrata. After this life, may this child go only to Vaikuntham without going through Garbha Narakam. Actually speaking, they brought the child when the child is 11 days old. According to Dharma Shastra, when a child is born, Jata Shaucham, or when somebody is dead, Mruta Shaucham. Simple quarantine period to control the infection. That's all. In the good olden days, why that isolation period? You know that, right? Quarantine is nothing but isolation period. Whenever there is a death or whenever there is a death or a birth, first 10 days you cannot bring the child to the temple after birth. The 11th day after the purificatory ceremony called Punya Vachana, yes, they brought for Sharanagati. What all I said, you have to give Tirtham, Krishna's Tirtham to the baby. You have not even given water to the baby. Can you wait for just 5 months so that you will not be scared? Suppose after drinking that Tirtham, the child may develop some sneezing or running nose or something. At least let the child get used to 5 months, 5 days. 6th month, 6th day, you don't even have to look for a good day. That is when Anna Prashana, the first solid food, will be given to the baby. Then you give some water. When the child is comfortable in drinking water, bring, we will do. Exactly 5 months, 5 days they waited. They did Sharanagati. We can get it done. So, when a 5 months, 5 days old baby can have Sharanagati, don't you think we are, it is too late for so many of us? And that concept of Sharanagati is nothing new. That is the one that is given by Krishna, that is given by Rama, that is given by Sita Devi, that is given by Varaha Swami. Guaranteed, every one of them 100%. Go ahead.
Yep, I have a question.
Start questions.
To get Sharanagati or to get Krishna, you need a guru in your life.
Of course. Go back to Krishna again. Tad vidhe pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninaha tattvadarshinaha. You remember?
Yep.
Without an acharya's anugraham, if somebody says, I can practice myself, please remember, you can get a master's in history, economics, mathematics, English literature without going to a college. Correspondence course you can get. Hello. Can you get a MBBS without going to a college? Forget about going to a college. Even you have to be de facto slave doing residency, right? 24-hour shifts, 36-hour shifts, correct? Correct? So that a residency program is also needed for Sharanagati. Then only you will learn. Yes, sir.
But the question was like, we all know, but how to identify, like we identify the good university, we identify the good teacher in our materialistic life to get the better grades or whatever. How to identify the good guru? So that's the pretty slippery situation for a lot of people.
1 moment.
What did Krishna reply to that? Yadyadacharate shreshtaha tatta devetaro janaha. Now, sir, you want to send your son to Harvard. Nothing wrong in that. Is your son in a position to, put it in your language, give accreditation to Harvard? Your son is not even yet qualified to enter Harvard. So is he in a position to accredit? Say, American College of Radiology, you are running a radiation oncology department. How do you know whether this department is good enough for me to go for treatment? How do you know? Trust the agency that gives accreditation, where the experts have already given accreditation. If the experts, your student is still young, is yet to get admission. So at this point of time, he is not in a position to know whether Harvard is good or Pennsylvania State University is good. He doesn't know. But if he knows about the accreditation, the standing in the ranks, then you go. Experts have done. Yadyada charati shreshtaha. That is why if a person comes from an accredited system, don't think Harvard alone is Ivy League, right? Princeton is also Ivy League. Correct? Yale is also Ivy League. Same thing. Therefore, if that person has come from an accredited system, he is the Acharya. If they did not come, yadyada charati shreshtaha, the shreshtas, the great Purva Acharyas, have established that tradition. And if you have followed that, you have no problem at all. Whereas as a student, if you say, or a student thinks, I myself should first go to the university, then try to assess the faculty, try to find out this thing. He is not even in a position to understand the level of the professors to rank them. So what we can do? Go by the accreditation. Sat Sampradayam. And if you are verbatim following that, same thing, sir. Your protocol treatments are there. The hospital may be a small hospital, but if they follow the same protocol treatments, whether you get that done at Sloan Kettering Cancer Center or you get it done in a Pennsylvania hospital, as long as the protocol treatment where the doctor doesn't even have a millimeter leeway this way or that way, correct? That's why they call it protocol treatments. So anybody who follows that protocol treatment is the correct Acharya. The protocol means no deviation. No deviation means absolutely no. I'm sorry, we are going because the question was a very profound question. Absolutely no meat eating. If that Acharya is not compromising even a bit on no meat eating, because you are a millionaire, you give $10,000, $100,000 donation, you turn a blind eye whether he takes egg or this and that. No, sir, you are making a mistake. Correct yourself. If the teacher is not taking any concessions with regards to your food habits, only what you offer to Krishna, only you can have. If you have anything, if you are eating without offering to Krishna. Kameshwari, can I ask a question?
Yes, please.
Are you eating onion and garlic in your daily day-to-day life?
No.
Good. You are following Krishna. But how many people can dare say that they don't eat onion and garlic? So the one qualifies to be an Acharya when he says, you cannot eat anything that you cannot offer to Krishna. How do you know that, sir? Because, say, we are there going for a Tirtha Yatra to visit holy places. Naturally, everybody will pack some money and go because it's a strange place to go. But you overspent and no more money. What will she do? She will go to the nearest close by jewelry shop. She will just pull out a bangle and say, "Sir, this is a gold bangle. Take it and give me some 50,000 rupees." Do you think the jeweler will immediately believe you and say, "Oh my God, gold bangle, looks like a good lady," and immediately he will give you 50,000 rupees? No, 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 no. He will have a touchstone with him. He would have got the scratch or the impression of a 24 karat gold, and then he will scratch your gold bangle next to that, and he will look at it. Experienced jeweler can easily find out, depending on the brightness of the gold bangle that you have given. Madam, this is a gold bangle, no doubt, but this is, look at this, this will not at all comparing to 24 karat gold standard. This may be 18 karat, 17 karat, 21 karat. I cannot give you 50,000 as you wanted, I can give you only 38,000. Always compare to the gold standard. That is why when you buy gold biscuits, I don't want it, don't worry, you buy that. If you don't buy, you are not an Indian woman. Every Indian woman's hobby is, whenever possible, how to buy gold biscuits. Good. Why are you buying that? 999 is printed on that with a government seal. What do you think is that 999? 99.9% pure. Why that 999? Why can't 100%? We can never become 100%. If you are able to come to 99.9% perfection, that is where Krishna comes into picture. He will add that 0.1 and he will push you. 999. Why 999? What is missing for making it 1,000? 1. How do you know that? Come back to Krishna. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschit yatati siddhayete. If you are taking 1,000 people, 999 will not come to perfection. Only one will think of coming to perfection. The choice is yours whether you want to be one in 1,000 or you want to be one among the 1,000. Got it, Lalita? If you want to be one in 1,000, you have to come to 999. Perfection. Manushyanam sahasreshu. Sahasra means 1,000. Only one. Take out one, 999. 999 perfection. Got it, sir? So, why onion and garlic? Because Krishna says, Yajna sishtashinas santo muchyante sarva kilbishaihi bhunchate te agham papa ye pachanti atma karana. You remember? 3rd chapter, 13th verse, Bhagavad Gita. The devotee who offers everything to Krishna and eats the remnants of offering as a prasad is cleared of all sins. But that particular sinner who cooks for feeding or filling his own stomach without offering to Krishna is eating only sin. Your choice. On one hand, you say you love your daughter, you love your son, but you are feeding them onion, garlic, etc. That means you are directly making their way nicely to hell, not to Vaikuntham. Because you are feeding hell, you are feeding sin. That is the reason why the food that you eat must be pure. That is where the Upanishads are coming into picture. The 10 great Upanishads, remember 108 Upanishads are there. Of the 108 Upanishads, just as we have all books. You went to medical school, medical library, good. All are books for the medical school, medical students. But some books are meant only for the first year students. Some books for the second year, some books for third year, some books for the research students. Same thing. 108 Upanishads. The great 3 Acharyas, so Shankaracharya, Ramanuja or Madhvacharya, they commented only on the 10 Upanishads. The remaining, they are all Upanishads, no doubt. But some are meant for the first year students, some are for the second year, third year, fourth year. Then MD, PhD students also are there, right? Their books you cannot compare with the first year students. So what did they do? Only 10 Upanishads are unequivocally declared as the evidence of the Vedanta. Upanishads are called Vedanta. Veda. Veda means knowledge, to know. To know what? Who is the Paramapurusha? Vedaischa sarvaihi ahameva vedyo vedanta krudveda videva chaham. The purpose of studying the Vedas is to understand who is that Paramapurusha, who is that Supreme Lord, who is that Bhagavan. If you have not understood that, completed medical school, but cannot even diagnose whether the patient has a fever or not, I don't know what kind of study is that. Same thing here. Same thing here also. Krishna says, the purpose of studying the Vedas is to understand who is that Supreme Lord. And all three Mahatmas have taken Chandogyam, Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Ishavasya Upanishad, Kathopanishad, Kenopanishad, Prashnopanishad, Mundaka Mandukya Upanishad, Mahanarayana Upanishad, and Aitareya Brahmana. Only 10 Upanishads they have given the commentary, only 10. And in that the Upanishad Vakyam says, Ahara Shuddhau Sattva Shuddhi. Only when the food that we are eating is pure, the mind becomes pure. Delhi, now she said she is MD, 1, 2, 3. Any more MD, sir? Another MD, very good, sir. That's it. Now you four tell me, sir. In our body, take an MRI. Everywhere you have blood, tissues, etc. in a different form. Only in the brain you have that white matter or the grey matter, correct? The food that I am talking in front of some medical doctors, ask them. The food that you eat is just gross portion is the waste, comes out of the body. The fine portion of the food that we eat will go to form the bone marrow, etc. And the subtle portion of the food that you eat will go to form that grey matter or that white matter in the brain. And that is the one that decides the thought process. Whether you want to go towards a Krishna, simple. This man is there, that man is there. One man wants to go to the bank, write a check and withdraw $10,000 cash. Another man thinks, come on, no check, nothing. Take a gun and though, after all, if you write a check, you get only 10,000. Take a gun and show the gun, you will get 200,000, right? Whatever is there in the count in the counter. Why he is getting the thought, let me write a check and get the cash? Why he is getting the thought, let me take a gun and get the cash? Food habits. The food that you eat will give you the thought process. If the food is pure, ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhi, the food that you eat is pure, then only your thought process is pure. Everything starts from here. Whether you want to go to a temple, worship Krishna, or you want to go to Atlantic City, enjoy a drink, and dance with the semi-naked girls, is your choice. Nobody stops you. The choice is yours. You bought a nice car, good. You take the car and go to a temple to have darshan, your choice. You take the car, go to a club, is your choice. The thought process changes. And that thought process is decided by the food that you eat. That's what the Upanishad says. Ahara shuddhau sattva shuddhihi. Therefore, to find an acharya, you make sure that the person comes from an accredited system. And the person is following the food habits absolutely, unequivocally, no compromises. The second thing, most important thing, ananyāścintayanto mam ye janāh paryupāsate ananyāh cintayanto mam. In the case of Krishna, not even 99.9, na anya chintana, when your focus of your worship is not even 999, the focus of your worship is 1,100%. That is called ananyāścintayanto mam. So a bona fide acharya is one who always says Krishna and Krishna. It doesn't stop there. Nothing other than Krishna. It doesn't say Merato Giridhar Gopal. Immediately it continues Dusara na koi. Then only it is an accredited system. Is your question answered, sir?
Yeah.
Krishna and Krishna. It doesn't stop there. It doesn't stop there. Dusra na koi. Even a slight contamination of Anya Devata Samparkam, your Sharanagati is ruined, your Bhakti Yogam is ruined. That Pativrata Bhakti. Switch to Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana. Because some of you may love Rama. You love Rama, right? If you are a woman and if you don't love Rama, you are not a woman. Something is wrong with you. Why you love Rama? Because Rama is Ekapatni Vratam. Even though you love Krishna, who knows? But when it comes to my husband, if I follow Ramayana, if I follow Rama, my husband will stick to me only. Otherwise, he can develop 10 girlfriends. Right? Therefore, Ramayana. Remember in Valmiki Ramayana, whatever you know about Rama from Ramananda Sagar TV serial or from the movies is not real Ramayana. In Valmiki Ramayana, just to make you think 100 times about Rama, number one, Rama in that whole incarnation was never aware that he is Paramapurusha. He is not like Krishna. Krishna, right from the second he appeared on the planet Earth, Manmana Bhava, Mad Bhakto, Mad Yaji, Mattah Parataram Nanyat Kinchidasti Dhananjaya. I am the Supreme Lord, I am the Supreme Lord, I am the Supreme Lord. Rama, Atmanam Manusham Manye, Ramo Dasharathatmajaha. I consider myself as a simple, ordinary human being. Rama, the good boy, the son of Dasharatha, that's all he knows. Number two, as some people glorify Kaikeyi, oh, Kaikeyi is a Mahajnani, and she knows Rama's incarnation is not to stay in Ayodhya, to go to forest life and kill all the Rakshasas, Ravana, etc. That's why she sent Rama to the forest. Nowhere supported in Valmiki Ramayana. According to Valmiki Ramayana, you know what exactly is the description of Kaikeyi? Yes, until that minute she heard Rama is going to get coronated, she is a wonderful mother. She loved Rama more than she loved her own son Bharata. But the minute you get into bad company, tell me your friends, I will tell you what you are, is not a joke. That stupid lady Mandhara came and poisoned the mind of Kaikeyi to such an extent. You know what exactly Vasishta, the Kula Guru, calls Kaikeyi? Dasharatha, I told you, don't marry this sinful lady. You never listened to me. Now you are paying a price. But, sir, you have two sons, right? How old are they? How old are they, sir?
17 and 13.
17. You forgot at what? Okay, 17 and 13. Okay, very good, sir. You know why I said, why I gave your example? If not today, 17-year-old, in another 4 or 5 years, you have to get him married. Good. Another 13, okay, another 10 years you have to get him married. When you are going to find a daughter-in-law, right? What kind of a daughter-in-law you are looking for, Emma? Hello, I am a doctor, my husband is a doctor. So the daughter-in-law should also be a medical doctor. Okay. Or at least the daughter-in-law should be Wall Street executive. Acceptable. Good. No. Don't look for a daughter-in-law who is beautiful, who is fair in complexion, who is very beautiful. No. You know what you should look for? Can you guess?
Good heart.
Emma?
Good heart, sorry.
Good heart. How do you know? What do you call it? She's a bodyologist. And then, hey, come here. I'll open you, do open heart surgery, and then I'll find out whether you have a good heart or bad heart.
Nice person.
Or I'll check your cholesterol level. So LDL is so much, so you have a bad heart, right?
I'll look at their
Good,
parents,
yes.
Emma?
what they follow.
No, not even the parents. When you are looking for a daughter-in-law, read Valmiki Ramayana. You know what Sumanta said? Never go for the charm of a girl when you are getting married. Look at the mother-in-law. Who is that daughter, who is that would-be daughter-in-law's mother? Exactly, Sumanta, the minister cum chariot driver and the best friend of Dasharatha, you know what he said? Dasharatha, when you wanted to marry this girl Kaikeyi, I came with you. I inquired about that family. This Kaikeyi is mother. Kaikeyi is father. Ashwapati, he is a Mahatma. He has the special skills of understanding the language of the birds and the animals. One day the wife and husband Kaikeyi's dad and mum were sitting in the lawn. All of a sudden, Kaikeyi's father started laughing. And naturally, when the husband laughs, the wife, is he laughing at me? Is something wrong with me? Is he thinking of something bad about me? She said, tell me, what are you laughing about? Sorry, I cannot tell you. What do you mean you cannot tell me? I'm your wife. Tell me. You have the authority, right? Right? The minute you are a wife, what all you get is the authority over your husband. That's it. You know what he said? Look, I know the language of the animals. I know the language of the birds. I heard something strange, so I laughed. No, I don't believe it. Something is there in your mind. You're hiding something from me. You must tell me. He told the truth. If I tell you what I know, my head will break into 100 pieces and I will die. Exact words of Kaikeyi's mother. Whether you die or not, I don't care. If you don't tell me, my head is breaking into 100 pieces. You tell me. Of course, he didn't tell. This is the same incident Sumanta narrates to Dasharatha and says, that day itself I told you, Kaikeyi's mother has a very, very bad temperament. She had the guts to say to her husband, whether your head will break into 100 pieces and you die or not, I don't care. You must tell me, if not my head is breaking. Look at the daughter now. Dasharatha, you are pleading, without Rama, how can I live? I will die. What Kaikeyi says, whether you die or not, I don't care. You gave me the promise, you must fulfill the promise. Same thing. Yatha mata tadha kanya. As is the mother, so is the daughter. So you better look at not the daughter-in-law, medical doctor or not, whether the mother-in-law is a good lady who brought up her daughter in a nice way. That's all.
Dasharatha got married to Kaikeyi because he was fascinated by she knows the language of the birds, so she can help us. That's the.
That word is not there in the entire Valmiki Ramayana, sir.
Yeah,
Next
so-
time when I come, I'll bring Valmiki Ramayana.
Yeah.
Why? Get your laptop, I'll show you. Get your laptop, valmikramayan.net. It is in Sanskrit script. Hindi you can read. No, Kaikeyi doesn't know it. Kaikeyi's father alone knows. There is no mention in Valmiki Ramayana. Now coming back to, Kaikeyi was portrayed as a vicious lady. In fact, Vasishta says Kula Pamsani. Kula Pamsani means a wretched woman who is born in a family to ruin the entire reputation of the family is called Kula Pamsani in Sanskrit. That is the description. So, in Valmiki Ramayana, Kaikeyi is not a good lady. Next question. Rama was never hiding behind a tree to kill one. Rama is not a coward at all. Vali is nothing for Rama. In the entire Valmiki Ramayana, it was a one-on-one fight between Vali and Sugriva. Rama was coming head on and he shot Vali not from behind, not in the back. Rama shot Vali with one arrow and killed him right in his chest. And even Vali questions, when I am focused on Sugriva, why did you intervene as a third person and shoot me in the chest, not in the back? Rama was never hiding, unless, just as you see in the serials, no. Most important one, Rama never asked Sita to jump into the fire. She loves Rama, but somewhere in her mind, Rama is good, but still, for the no fault of Sita, how can he say jump into the fire? Correct? Correct? Most of you have that question, right? For the no fault of Sita, just because Ravana abducted her, how can Rama say jump into the fire? For your kind information, in the entire Valmiki Ramayana, which is the original source of Ramayana, nowhere Rama said jump into the fire. He only said, I cannot accept you. That's all. You do what you want. I cannot accept you. That's all. You want to stay in Lanka? I can ask Vibhishana to take care of you. You want to stay in Kishkindha? I can ask Sugriva to help you. You want to go to Ayodhya and stay? I can tell my brother Bharata to take care of you. But as far as I am concerned, I cannot take you back. Then Sita Devi says, for a woman rejected by the husband, let Agni prove whether I am a chaste woman or not. Lakshmana prepared the fire and she herself jumped into the fire. Rama never asked. Now, Pativrata Bhakti, the whole concept came from Pativrata Bhakti. 100% Rama and nothing other Rama. Sita Devi uses only one sentence. Trikarana Shuddhi Bihi. In my mind, I never thought of another man other than Rama. In my words, I never thought of any other man other than Rama. With my body, I never had any contact with another man other than Rama. If I am pure in my mind,